Susan Jeffers is known to have said that we do not fear the things that we think we fear. We fear that we will not be able to handle it. Just last night, I was having a chat with a young mother who is worried about the way the current global pandemic is spreading, worried that it has come into her state, and worried about what the future holds for her, her young children, and her family. She's not alone. A lot of people are having anxiety and worrying about this, and not just about this global pandemic. People are worrying about different things. For some parents, they are worrying that their children might not turn out right. They are worrying that their new startup business might fail. They are worrying that they are not good enough for the things they want to do, or one thing or the other. Interestingly, research has shown that the skills to be able to deal with anxiety and cope with life circumstances are teachable. And so on today's episode of the Architecture of Intentional Happiness show, I will be sharing with you tips, tools, and ways that you can thrive through worry and anxiety, especially in trying times. I am Dima Nwobi, your host on this show and the creator of the Architecture of Intentional Happiness. As I share with you practical ways to endure and surmount stressful situations and anxiety-soaked times, just like the world is facing now with COVID-19, I'd like for you to have two things in mind. Number one, we're going to be looking at these stressful and anxiety-prone situations from a solution-focused, value-based approach. Because one of the things that causes anxiety and worry is when, as a person, we are lashed to our negativity bias and we're just looking at the problems, thinking about the problems, weighing the problems, and looking at it from a fear orientation. But for you to practice these tips, we're looking at the situation from a solution-focused, value-based approach. Number two, we will be looking also at an emotion-focused, because emotions are live, emotions are you. You can't devoid yourself from the emotions, and the emotions such triggering events bring about for you is part of why you entertain anxiety and worry thoughts. So we're looking at it from a solution-focused, and we're looking at it from an emotion-focused. And for the time we're going to be sharing today, I will be referring to those circumstances such as COVID-19 that is causing worry, panic, anxiety as the activating event. Be it known also that the tips I'm going to share here are not just limited to how you can deal with COVID-19. These are proven skills and tools that can help you deal with anything that is causing you worry and is causing you anxiety. For us to go into these tips, let's look at, why do we worry? When things happen, why do we worry about them? It's all about what I call the elephant brain. You know, as a human being, we have this negativity bias in ourselves that makes us to be so sensitive to negative things. Your brain is wired to protect you. Your brain is wired to conserve energy. Your brain is wired to keep you safe. And so when any news breaks or anything happens that looks like it's a threat to your existence, looks like it's a threat to your brain, looks like it is something that would take up so much energy from you, your elephant brain is just active and is wondering what is happening, how do I protect you? So that is the basic reasons why we worry. And so if we are going to counter worry, then we have to counter the negativity bias and look at ways to deal with the anxiety and the panic that the brain naturally is exhibiting, just as a way of preserving us and protecting us. The life situations and circumstances that happen that cause us worry and anxiety is what I refer to as the activating event. An event that activates us, an event that causes something to happen. And so it could be the COVID-19, it could be whatever, but let's focus on the COVID-19 since it's a global pandemic that is ravaging lives right now. So the COVID-19 is the activating event, right? What are your beliefs concerning this? When you think about the COVID-19, what thoughts come to you? oh my God, I'm going to catch it, my children will not be safe, Nigeria is not prepared to handle it, we're exposed, people are dying. What are the thoughts that come up for you? Because if you're going to deal with anxiety and worry surrounding this activating event, and to be able to lash on to the practical tips to help you deal with it, you need to understand and isolate what your beliefs around this are. Do you believe that you're going to catch it? Do you believe that you are ill prepared? Do you believe that you don't have what it takes to handle it? What are your beliefs and the thoughts that are coming up for you for this activating event? The next thing you need to look at are the consequences. So this is COVID-19. It is happening. A lot of people in the world are contacting it. Some deaths have been recorded. Fine. What are your beliefs about it? What are the thoughts, the predominant thoughts that comes to your mind? Oh, we're doomed. Everything is going haywire. This is sign of end time. We will not be able to survive it. If the Western world could not survive it, how will we survive it? What are your dominant thoughts? Then thirdly, what are the consequences? Based on this activating event, the thoughts and beliefs you have around it, what are the consequences? What emotions does it bring for you? Does it bring for you emotions of worry, emotions of anxiety, emotions of sadness or fear? Or based on the thoughts you're having about it, okay, this is happening, but I'm going to do what the WHO says we should do. I will observe social distancing. I will keep myself safe. I will monitor the people that come into my home. I will monitor the temperature and the symptoms for my family. And if I notice anything, I'll report to the authorities. And those are the thoughts you're having. You know that the consequences will be different from somebody who is like agitated. Oh, why is this happening? So look at the activating event, look at your thoughts and your beliefs around it, and then the consequences of it. So what emotions does it bring up for you? What feelings do you have when you think about this activating event? So you need to know the activating event, you need to know your beliefs and thoughts around it, then you need to know the consequences. So if the emotions and the feelings that it's bringing up for you are feelings and emotions of pride, of joy, of happiness, of optimism, of resilience, then you don't need to, work to change that, because those are empowering emotions and feelings. But if after the thoughts that come up for you, the emotions that come up for you are emotions that are not serving you, the first thing you need to do in being able to thrive through anxiety and worry is to understand the things that are happening for you. While I'm saying you need to understand the activating event, your beliefs around it, and the consequences, it's not because I want to judge you. It's not because I want you to feel bad. Even if the emotions is bringing up for you are emotions of worry, emotions of anxiety, it's okay. Those emotions are valid and they are how you feel. And interestingly, you are human because your brain wants to protect you. That's why you are feeling those emotions. So don't start by judging yourself. Oh, why am I panicking? Why am I feeling anxious? Why am I being fearful? These are basic human emotions. And if you do not know panic, how will you know serenity? If you don't know anxiety, how will you know peace? So please, the first step to thriving through anxiety and worry in trying times is to first of all recognize the activating event, recognize your beliefs and thoughts around it, and recognize the consequences, by which I mean the emotions and the feelings you feel. First, recognize them. After recognizing them, you need to ask yourself, are these emotions serving me? Are these emotions helping me show up the way I want to show up? And if your answer is no, then the following steps would help you in dealing with them and thriving even through them. To thrive through worry and anxiety in trying times, the third thing you need to do is to engage in relaxation rituals. Engage in things that will relax you. And there are lots of relaxation rituals, but I'm going to just share them with this acronym. You need to take your meds. And talking about COVID-19, I'm not talking about people that are overdosing on chloroquine or things that have not been prescribed by doctors. I'm talking about the meds that will make for your life to be relaxed and to thrive even in these trying times. And so the meds, MEDS, those are relaxation techniques that will help you when you're passing through anxiety and worry. Number one, M stands for movement. Research has shown that when you move, either through exercise, through dancing, or through any physical activity that you enjoy, you are boosting your immunity. Not only are you boosting your immunity, you are also reducing cortisol, which is the stress hormone. And the more the stress hormone is reduced, the more you distress and the more you feel relaxed and calm. So movement is important at the times when you're feeling anxious. Move so that you can build your immunity and also reduce the stress hormone. The E stands for eat. If there's any time to eat healthy, it is when you're stressed and when you feel anxious. Eating healthy, leafy vegetables, immunity boosting foods, it's very important. Eat healthy so that you can boost your immunity and your vitality. D stands for drink. Drinking a lot of water and fluids at the time when you're feeling worried and anxious is also very important. And whilst you're drinking water, please try to drink warm water as much as you can so that it can help you, and stay away from a lot of sugar, So drink more of water, more of natural fruits. Then the S stands for sleep. Sleep is a natural stress reliever. Sleep is a natural relaxant from anxiety. And when you're also sleeping, you're resting your mind, you're resting your body, and you're able to wake up to problem solve and to think more clearly. So engage in relaxation rituals. From person to person, there might be other relaxation rituals that you like. For me, I like to hang out in nature, and so when I feel stressed, I just stay by nature and it relaxes me. But at these times when we're practicing social distancing, if you do not have, like I have my background here where the greens are caressing me and I'm just being with nature and I'm enjoying myself, you might just want to stay at home, move, eat healthy, drink healthy, and sleep healthy. Number 4, practice optimism. You see, optimism is a style of thinking and a hopeful expectation for the future. One way to deal with worry and anxiety is to practice optimism. Engage in activities that will make you hopeful and think of the future. One thing I advise people at this time, particularly if you understand how your anxiety level increases when you listen to news or you read some of the posts that have been flying around. When do you feel that your anxiety level increases? I remember during the Ebola era, whenever I switch on the television and I hear, Ebola has done this, Ebola has done that, I get more agitated and I get more worried. And so I said to myself, I was going to shut down the television. I was going to reduce my screen time. So observe yourself and notice, when are those times that you feel more agitated and more anxious? If it is when you feed yourself with certain news, then you want to quarantine yourself from excessive exposure to news, particularly to unverified information. During this COVID-19 era, it's important that we're careful about the news we're disseminating and the news we're feeding. Please get your updates and your news from the WHO's website rather than all of this broadcast that is going around. So practicing optimism might also be reducing your exposure to sources of news that is causing you anxiety and worry. Also, you might want to reduce your exposure to people who cause panic for you. People who are always talking about, this person died, this one happened. This might be a time to shut yourself off from such people who are threatening your peace and your serenity. Stay away from rumor mongers. Stay away from people who are panic personified, who make you worry and are warriors themselves because they are passing on the worry to you. Some other skills that you can use to boost to practice optimism, it's by visualization. This is one skill that I love a lot, that helps me even before COVID, and anytime that I'm stressed or worrying about the future, I begin to visualize the outcome of the future that I want. One particular thing that has worked for me, it's when I visualize my husband and I in our 70s working with our hands interlocked on beach sand. So anytime I'm worrying about a thing and I just bring that picture to my mind, it kind of just energizes me and makes me feel like I'm gonna get to that future that I'm seeing. And so visualizing an outcome, a future, a dream of yours is a way of staying optimistic at this time. For some people, you might also want to practice expressive writing. When you're worrying and thoughts are coming in your head, one of the ways to deal with them is by writing about them. Write what you're feeling, write what you're thinking, write what you're seeing, write even about that future that you're dreaming of. Research has shown that expressive writing helps to reduce stress and anxiety and keeps you focused on the future that you hope for. Talking about even the worries that you're having and anxiety with loved ones can also help you deal with it. So what are the ways that you remind yourself that there is a future post the trauma that you're facing, post the anxiety that you're feeling, post the worry? You need to be mindful of the future, engage in practices that will help you think positively about the future and dream of a hope outside the stress. I wish I can say to you that when you engage in the relaxation rituals and then you're practicing optimism, that all of the worry and the anxiety will just melt away. It doesn't work like that most times. The negative thoughts will still come. So that takes us to number 5 way to thrive through anxiety and worry, especially in trying times, is to talk back to the negative beliefs, is to talk back to the negative thoughts, called thought disputation. You have to dispute the thought. Look, you're not going to be so nice and be doing, oh, gentle girl, gentle man with the thoughts. No, the thoughts are not nice to you. They are coming to disrupt your life. They are coming to cause, to derail you from what you want for your life. So you have to dispute the thoughts. You have to talk back to them. And so here is a simple thing to do when those thoughts come to you. Just ask them those 3 questions. And if the answer to the 3 questions are no, then that means this thought needs to be changed. So a negative thought comes to you, or whatever thought for that matter, and you want to know, is this a thought that I need to talk back to? Is it a thought that I need to dispute? Number 1, you want to ask yourself, is this thought based on facts? So COVID-19 is here, and some of the thoughts you are entertaining is that, oh, I'm going to die, oh, my family is going to catch COVID. We have over 7 billion people in the world, and we know the percentage of people who have contacted the virus. So asking yourself that your family is going to contact it, you are going to contact it, you are doomed, is it based on facts? If the answer is no, that's one. Secondly, this thought, is it serving you to meeting your goals? So what is your life about? What are the things you want to do? So this thought you are having with the panic and the anxiety, is it helping you meet your goals? If the answer is yes, then you don't need to dispute the thought. You keep the thought. But if the answer is no, that is the second no. Thirdly, is this thought helping me to show up in the world the way I want to show up? Is it helping me to feel the way I want to feel? And so if the thought, for example, of the thought, oh, we're not properly covered, we're endangered, and the feelings that is bringing up for you is feelings of panic, feelings of anxiety, feelings of worry, are those the feelings that you want to feel? So if the thoughts are bringing up for you feelings that are not the feelings you want to feel, then that's a no. So if those thoughts get no for the 3 questions, number 1, are they based on facts? And it's a no. Number 2, are these thoughts helping you achieve your goals? And it's a no. Number 3, are those thoughts making you feel the way you want to feel, and it's a no, then that means that you need to talk back to that thought and replace the thought. So what would you rather be thinking that is based on facts, that can help you achieve your goal, and that can make you feel the way you want to feel? So you have to replace that thought with an empowering thought, with a thought that is helping you. And anytime the negative thought comes, you need to talk back to it. Don't just be like calm and all of that. No. But here is the thing you need to also know. When you replace the negative thought with an empowering thought, please take action on that new thought. So if your new thought is like, oh, we are covered, we're doing all we need to do to stay safe, and the feelings that is giving you are feelings of hope, feelings of optimism, then you have to act on it. If you have not fortified yourself, your home, your children, your environment, then you're not doing commensurate action based on your thoughts. You can't be thinking, oh, we're safe, and then you're not washing your hands, and then you're not praying, and then you're not observing social distancing, and then you're reckless and careless, and you say, oh, I already replaced it with an empowering thought. No, it doesn't work like that. Your thoughts would lead you to take actions and engage in behaviors that will give you the result you want. So that's what it's the self-fulfilling prophecy. When you have the beliefs and the thoughts, those thoughts will empower you to take actions and behaviors that are empowering, and then leading you to the results that you want. So whenever you have those negative thoughts, number 5 is to talk back to it, question the thought, replace it, and then go take action on the new thought. Remember your elephant brain, the one that is quick to panic, gets afraid, and it's worrying and, anxiety ridden. The 6th tip that I'm going to share with you will help you to calm the elephant brain down and to activate your rational brain to help you think through the worry and problem solve. One of the things that worrying and anxiety does is that it shuts us down cognitively, and we're unable to think and problem solve. But when you practice this tip, which is designating a worry time, you literally focus on the things you want to focus on at that time, and then you create a container where you can dump all of those thoughts and walk them through to create a solution. So tip number 6 to thriving through worry and anxiety, especially in trying times, is to designate a worry time. Not every time that the worry thoughts come to your head, you're going to sit and practically start ruminating around them and thinking about them, because at that time when you're filled with the worry, you're not in that space mentally where you can problem solve. So designate a worry time. If the thoughts of worry are coming to you in the morning, you can say, hey brain, I understand you're trying to protect me. I understand you're doing this for my good. But hey, can we worry about this by 4 p.m.? I'll meet up with you at 4 p.m. and we can do it together. At that time where you designate the worry time, you mentally calm yourself down. You quieten the elephant brain, and there's an instant kind of inner peace and serenity that you feel at that time. Sometimes people have even said that the times they designate to worry, when the time comes, they already are over the extent and intensity of the worry. But what designating worry time really will do for you, apart from making you feel relieved at that time, is that it helps you to dump all of those thoughts, where you can now come into them and process them more now that you are cognitively empowered to do it. So when next you feel worry, don't beat yourself up. Understand that it's your elephant brain trying to protect you, and then say to the elephant brain, hey guy, I know you're doing this for me. Let's worry about this at 4. Let's worry about it tomorrow. Let's worry about it then. And that time you can now be cognitively ready to process the worry, think it through, dispute the thoughts that need to be disputed, and be someone who is thriving in spite of the challenges. So that's what we're taking today on this episode of the Architecture of Intentional Happiness, and I'm sure you learned a lot. For today, our intentional activity that we're going to do will be instantly. There's a lot of anxiety, there's a lot of panic, there's a lot of things going around the world. One way that you can keep yourself centered and calm and grounded when you feel panicky or with all that is happening is through breathing. Create time to engage in mindful practices. For me, I engage in my mindful practices as part of my morning rituals, where I meditate and I breathe. When you feel agitated, it's okay to calm down, take some breath that will relax you. But making breathing and mindfulness part of your lifestyle, it's more enduring because it just builds that lifestyle into you, and you're able to be calmer even without taking the breath at that time. So for our intentional happiness activity, we're going to take some calming breath. We're going to breathe together. We're going to calm ourselves down. And whenever you feel agitated and you want to calm yourself down, you can also practice this breathing exercise. So if you're with me and you want to breathe with me so that we can calm ourselves down and empower ourselves through this global breath, please, I would advise that you shut your eyes. If you're driving, don't do this now. You need to do this when you're in a calm place, sitting with your spine straight, your leg fully on the floor where you're feeling grounded. And at this time, I just want you to breathe normal. Breathe the normal way you breathe, just observing your breath, not wanting to change it, not wanting to do anything about it, but just breathing normally. At the count of 3, I'm going to invite you to take a deep breath in. You're taking a deep breath in 4 counts. And remember, when you're breathing in through your diaphragm, not through your chest. You're breathing from your diaphragm. And if you're practicing breathing for the first time, or you do not know how to breathe, breathe like you're inflating a balloon. Imagine that you're inflating a balloon, and as you're breathing air into the balloon, notice that the balloon is expanding. That's the same way your diaphragm, your tummy should be expanding. And then when you are exhaling, it's like you're removing the air from the balloon, and so your diaphragm is contracting and going inwards. So fantastic. So we're going to take this for 3 cycles. You're going to inhale 4 counts. When you inhale 4 counts, you will hold your breath for 6 counts, and then you will exhale for 8 counts. Okay, let's do that. Inhale. Anytime you're feeling agitated, just do this focused breathing, ensuring that your inhale is shorter than your exhale, and then you hold your breath for some time. This will make you calmer, make you feel grounded, and boost your happiness. the Architecture of Intentional Happiness show. Please click the share button, share this with your friends, share this with your loved ones. Let us keep thriving and enjoying peace and serenity even at these trying times. Remember, a choice to be happy is a choice to live intentionally.